Good morning, guys. Eric, habari ya asubuhi. Rono, good morning.
Good morning too.
How is it going?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well as well. So, today I'll be alone. We do not have Ian. He's a bit held up.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll still go through it. There's also not much to go through the charts unless you have a question, because most of the setups that we've been looking at from Monday are the ones that are performing. So we've been patient with them, the ups and downs, and finally most of them are reaching to our targets. So there is nothing much, but again, as you know, today is NFP week day. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll be a bit careful. And I always suggest, if you don't know, or if you're new in the market, then you do not have to trade the NFP. It's not for, you do not have to get every opportunity. There will always be an opportunity in the market. Sometimes you mess
Yeah.
up with very few trades because you want to make the maximum out of it. Sometimes just pressure ya pesa, unafaa kulipa rent kesho. So
Yeah.
you want to risk everything. You say this is your chance to make 100 G's, and then you mess it up. So the good thing is we're having this, and we will continue having webinars to talk about the general perspective of trading, not only the analysis. So welcome very much, Rono, and the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Thank you.
So these are the news we have today. We do not have any high impact news apart from the NFP. So as you can see, the NFP, which will affect the USD majorly. So we still have other currency
Yeah.
pairs to look at, those which are not paired with the USD. So if you don't know what you're doing, you can avoid the pairs that are affected with USD or are paired with USD, but the rest, you can be safe trading them. So this,
Yeah.
I always suggest that you get your calendar from Forex Factory. This is the source. I'm just using a link from FTMO because I use them to trade. But yeah, so that is it. So that is it
Yeah.
for the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will be watching out this area very keenly at 15:30
Yeah.
in Kenya in local hours.
Between that. Okay.
Yes, so 15:30 hours, we'll be very, very careful at that price. We'll be looking at it, the USD. So wale wanajoin tunasema NFP, kama you don't know what to trade ama you don't know how, you've never traded it, please, you can avoid it. Again, there is another formula that we always do, most traders I see them doing, and sometimes it works. You wait for like 5 minutes and the direction of the market will be shown, so that if it buys or sells, you can enter the market, but again, use a very tight stop loss. Do not wait for momentum to go for a long way, because most of the times it retraces back after 1 hour or even the same hour, and forming a spike. Again, sometimes there are no much movement. Like I think on June and on February, there was no movement. There was no impact in the market. And yeah, that is it. So let us watch out for that. Back to the charts. Mhm. Let's see. So, Rana, for how long have you been trading?
Um I'm a beginner by the way.
So
Just began. Yeah.
just began.
Yeah.
That is good. I hope you stick here. We learn together. There's a lot to learn. And Eric?
Yes, hello, Dennis.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing well.
For how long have you been trading?
Me, I've been on a demo
Okay.
after I've messed up, so I decided I want to learn.
All right. So karibu sana. We'll keep learning. We'll continue learning. We'll continue learning. This is the best place to be right now. So
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
I've
So,
seen.
and if you have any question, feel free to ask, even on the chat on the chat area.
Okay.
Yeah. So let us look at the charts that we've been looking at and how they're going during over the week. So this is the Great Britain pound. This has been our watch list. This is the Great Britain pound, and for the Great Britain pound against the yen, we've been expecting a buy, and as you can see in the long term, it's a buy, and in 4 hours, it's still a buy because it was after a sort of some channel. We call this a channel. So it was after forming a certain channel that we were expecting it to retest this area and then go back to the buys. And that is what exactly happened. So over the week, we've been looking at this. I cleared my charts, but you can go to YouTube and look. We call that back testing to see whether what you are doing was right. So most of the times we do back test, and back testing is very important for those who don't know. So we'll be looking at back testing most of the times, and we will even have a webinar to see the importance of it and how to do it well, so that once you learn the market, you do not overthink. Remember, when you're starting to trade, most of us, it was a bit hard to know what to do and what not to. But as at now, I believe things are becoming more clear, right? So as you can see in 1 hour's chart, we started with this currency pair here, and our first target was to breach this area, and we did breach this area. We had some good retracement. Again, we were looking at this as a support area, and we had said that if it breaches to the downside, then we'll be looking for some sales, but it did not. Instead, it went up higher. And because it had already given us a signal, we were very positive that we will continue with the buys, and that is what exactly happened. And right now we are here. Our target profit is here. This is our target area. So so this is our area of interest. That is our area of interest. Sorry. Yes, that is our area of interest. So since we did breach this area, we'll be looking to hit our take profit. We could have some sort of retracement up and downs. I believe most of us are still active on these trades unless you left. And if you did, then you'll be looking for a little SNR area so that you can get your entries. As at of now, it is a bit overbought, so you might experience some sort of resistance. You can refrain from that if you have other better currency pairs, but this is a good one as well. And it's slow moving, but eventually we will reach our end, our take profit. Risk management, again, very important. So if you are in this market already, you can start trailing your stop loss. Any question on that pair? Good morning, Kendi. Okay, Eric.
I'm okay.
Wow. So if there is no question, I will go to the next one. Good morning, Sheila and Janet. Mmeingia mkanyamaza.
Good morning.
msifanye ikae lecture boring, tusikue kwa ile boring lecture yenye mwalimu anatokanga na ajui kama students wameelewa.
Kwanza ni Friday.
Maze, so NFP leo maze to watch out. So again on this currency pair, if you remember, I gave some specific tukipandanga. Kuna wale watu niliambia where to buy and when to get out, but most of it getting out was at this area. These are take profit. So we did buy these the GU from down here. So if you've been with us, then you've been able to capture all these pips. When we were thinking that we may be going down around here, then we said that you start trailing a stop loss, and if it went below this area, because we called this a week, as you can remember, I had circled it. Then the other day I told you to get in here because it had formed a very good trend line, as you can remember. This was a very good trend line. And so the other day I told you to get in here up to the upside. So again, we haven't still changed our target profit. This will be our first area and it is almost hit. However, today we have NFP, so we'll be very careful on that. And I've said that if you're not sure, then you'd better not trade that area. Consider we missed with a few pips. So I'm sure if you were to take your profits right now, it's okay. But for those who are thinking of entries, then this is not the right time. It is already overbought. And you might find that the market will retrace so that it can get more momentum and come back higher. If you look at it keenly, you realize that it has been having momentum yesterday in the evening and did some sort of a range in the at night in the Sydney and the Tokyo market. So for now, the GU is overbought. Let's refrain from getting into it. But again, if it breaches that area, we'll be looking to make this high. This will be our new high once we breach this area. But remember, this has been a very strong area, so we might be going very slowly up to this area. Once we reach this area, we might be looking for a reversal, but I believe then we'll be in the market to do the analysis together. So that is it for the GU. Any question on that? Eric is saying we look at CAD JPY and out JPY. We will do that later. Yeah, Ian. Ian, you can see Ian is with us. Let's look at the Australian dollar against the Aussie dollar. So for the Aussie dollar, it's been a fun currency pair. There was a guy named Luck who did suggest that we look at this pair. Na sijui alienda wapi. Luck alienda wapi? So this pair, we've been with it for a long time again. From the beginning here, we were looking at the market reversal and it did reverse quite well. And remember our first take profit was here. This was a first take profit because we had anticipated that we will get some sort of a resistance here, and that's what exactly happened. And once we did get a reversal or a retracement, we did get back in. For those who had bought down here, then there was no need, you were just adding positions. Again, we'll talk about adding positions in some of our webinars. And remember that we have a webinar on Tuesday talking about emotions. So we did, I'm sure Ian caught most of these trades because the rest have not been keen with the others, but me and Ian, we've caught some good trades on these.
Juma.
Yes.
Juma, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Kwanza sorry vile tumeingia kwanza. I'm very sorry.
Haina mambo.
Habari ya wako?
Fiti sana. Si tuko. Actually, tunaangalia kaa tumevuna cause setups zetu zimeenda fiti.
Oh, nice.
Like by the way, all of them isipokuwa ile USD card na Euro card which has move as jakuwa na movement. So
bado tuko tu.
Bado tuko tu. So we are hoping once it breaks out, we will be on the safe side.
Nice.
Yeah, but as at now, kama sasa tunaangalia Aussie dollar, tunaona tulianzana nayo hapa chini. Na sasa tuko hapa. and even on the way, what we anticipated for the SNR areas, kama hapa na hapa, you see we were able to retrace and get back in or add positions, and then we've reached our higher highs. If you can remember, guys, this was our first target profit after this one. Tumeipita, then we were to target this profit, and once we breach this area again, we'll be looking to make even higher highs.
Lakini tumekuwa tukivuna nayo mzuri kutoka kwa chini.
Yeah, so if you can look this chart in 1 hour, you realize it's a very big movement, by the way. So for those, so this is beautiful. That's why I'm saying that you should not be missing these sessions. They might be boring, yes. But remember that hakunanga kitu yenye ni tamu inatokanga mahali pazuri. Lazima to set for this thing. So hiyo kuamka asubuhi tunaangalia charts and belong to people who we can guide you in case you have an issue, then it is very important. So this is it for the Aussie. Once tumefika hii area, we will be watching out. We are expecting some retracement at what price we are at, and especially today because we have NFP. Then, like we said before, kama haujui wachana nayo, and if you want to try it out, you can try it in a demo. And also nikapeana example, some people who once the movement has started, then you can get in, but with very tight risk management, because the candles sometimes they even retrace at the same hour or even in 2 hours. So unaweza pata you've been stopped out, but it was not your mistake. But yeah, it is NFP, it is high impact. So sidanganywe na wale watu naonanga YouTube wakitrade wana make millions hapa ndio watu blow rent.
Nakumbuka nilikuwa naendaga YouTube alafu unaangalia like naenda tu una type tu how to trade NFP. Alafu unaangalia that video nakwambia siju put your stop here up 30 minutes before the market, yani actually the NFP news happens.
Yeah. That's kwanza South Africans.
Lessons ni better. Hakuna kitu kenye unaweza pata kwa market.
Yeah.
So, a lot of it lazima learn.
So let's be patient. Let's get some few pips, especially because some of you are beginners. We do not want to high. We even have small accounts. I believe most of you have very small accounts. So risking things such as NFP might even take you out. And we are not here for a short time. We are here for a long time. So what matters for us is consistency. Can we do this again next week? Can we do this again next month? Can we do the same next year? You see, that is what we want. We do not want just to make $1 million today and tomorrow lose it all. So, like if you look at the Aussie, like tumesema, ikifika hapa we'll experience a lot of resistance before we breach to the upper side. If we don't breach to the upper side, we will be looking for the market setup to know whether we'll be going higher and making even higher highs, or even we might change the direction of the market. But as at now, we're just waiting to see whether we'll get some retracement. So we'll get some retracement because of the resistance. So this is overbought. I would suggest that anyone who is here stay out. So for us, the Aussie dollar is like a back testing. So there's not much trade until you can get some good. And this maybe might even happen on Tuesday. That is where patience comes in. We might get some retracement back in, and then we may make higher highs. So for today, we'll watch out and see what even NFP will do on this currency pair. The Euro USD. If you can remember, all these setups are on YouTube, by the way. So go on to YouTube if you missed them and check them out. We started trading Euro USD down here as well, and we are here. And we've been expecting some sort of resistance once we reach this area, and that is what exactly will happen. Once we are in this area, which we've already hit our take profit, we'll be experiencing some sort of resistance because of that. These are very high SNR area. But if you breach it to the upper side above these candles, then we'll confirm that we're in the buys. But before then, we're sure that we'll be experiencing some sort of resistance. So we'll be watching whether NFP will allow us to break that point or even go lower. So again, for the Euro USD, I would suggest that we stay out of it for quite some time. If you are in the market and will not take any profit, it's time to do so, I think.
Hii wiki na the previous week imekuwa too beautiful for the euro dollar.
It has been very beautiful. Look at this chart in 1 hour. There are so many hours that you could read. So some screen somewhere is very blue, and some did not get in because of fear, and some didn't get in because of capital, and some didn't get in and some ripped very well, and some got out on the way because of fear. So these are the things we'll be talking about here. Isn't it vitu tutakuwa na webinars to talk about, by the way, so that I want us to be consistent. That is, unaona kuna mtu by the way alifika hapa akaona hapana, aka kanarudi chini, akaweka sales. Very patience na kukubali that there are always pullbacks in the market. You see, let me tell you, me when I started trading, I would get in sometimes without even a big lot size, and then a small retracement like this one gets me out, and then the market performs and even goes to make higher highs. Unabaki hapo, ulitolewa tu na candles, not even a big movement. Candles za 1 hour, 30 minutes. So from then you get to learn. So this has been a very beautiful setups. Again, for today, we'll just be watching for it. USD CAD, this is one pair that has not performed as we were expecting. We were expecting a very good breakout, but yesterday in the evening it did break out to the downside from the from this area that we had highlighted as our support area. Remember, so it did breach to the downside, and since we are trading the USD against the Canadian dollar, this was expected as well. Remember the last few days I had highlighted this because all the other currency pairs were buying, so we were expecting that the ones which are against might even go lower, and that is what exactly happened with the the USD CAD. But again, we had said that we stay out of this market and watch what will happen. Since it has broken out, then I think we'll be looking for more sales, but let's be careful. Let's see what the NFP will do, and then we can make a decision even on Monday, because down here, almost immediately, we still have a very strong resistance area. So you might be even looking for a sort of consolidation for long in this market. Yes, Ian?
There's this thing, everybody is hearing you talk of NFP, NFP. So some people are wondering, what is NFP?
NFP is like Ian sijui nawaambia aje. Kwanza, to begin with, as a trader, NFP is news that everyone knows. Like when you meet a group of traders, hakuna news kubwa wanaongeleanga kama NFP. Before you even talk about FOMC, the others, CPIA, I mean, NFP is the greatest news of all time. NFP happens on every first Friday of every month. So today is September. Today is the first Friday of this month. That is why it is happening. On October, we'll have that on the same Friday, the first Friday on the same month. So that is what happens with NFP. It means non-farm employment change. I think for basics, these are the things that you learn on the basics, uko kwa baby peeps and such. These are things that you need. So we'll be looking at the unemployment rate again. All of these are related to the NFP. The NFP has very high impact on the market, especially the USD currency pairs. So maybe you can research more on this, but at least you have a clue now.
Juma, just to highlight before you move out of that calendar.
Yeah.
So can you move up a little bit? I want to see the top side of the calendar. So
hapa tumesha exhaust these ones from the market.
Okay, let it just hang up there. I wanna tell them something. Let it just hang at the top. Au penye hatuna kitu yote. Just pull it up hapo. So when looking at NFP, you should look at these two. You should look at the forecast and the previous NFP. So all the previous trajectory, the numbers which were there previously and what they are forecasting. To see if it's changing or because if the previous was high and the new one is a little bit lower, that means the economy is experiencing a change.
Yeah.
So in short, tunamaanisha to the labor market tu ni wala wase wote Kenya on the labor force kama like inakuwa in exclude nani. So like watu wote tu like the employment, how many people are being employed yani at that month, what is the employment yani wameongezeka ama wame decrease. So wanasemanga the lower yani the ikiwa more higher than the previous ni good for the economy.
Yeah.
Then ikiwa lower than the previous it is yani bad for the economy.
And then because we are using the dollar, the US dollar, then we are expecting that the dollar will gain more value if the news are good.
If the news are good, yes. So the dollar inapata nguvu.
So tukikuja hapa unaona kuna focus.
Even forecast yake iko chini kuliko
the previous
than
one.
The previous.
So likelihood data iko ya kubuy is more.
So the likelihood of this market, there
yani,
might be.
Yani the US dollar iko na like iko weak. Like employment ime decrease.
Yes.
Can you click on this? Okay, like your calendar is kind of confusing.
Ungefungua ile kalenda ya
yetu tu ya kawaida.
Forex Factory.
Wacha ni share na nyinyi mfungua kama mmefungua already. Let me share the screen with you guys. Share your screens. So I hope we are getting something in here by the way. Naona kama leo tutakuwa na session nyingine.
Mimi nikikuja lazima tukue na mbili.
So guys, remember that our intermediary class is still on. So in case you need more knowledge on these things, then please contact us. Schedule for
fundamentals mob. There are two.
So Juma.
Yeah.
I hope everyone is seeing this.
Yeah.
I have the average hourly earning rate. Nakumbuka wakati nani alichukua president mpya alichukua increase the average earning rate.
Wait, yani aijui president mpya na wakati wa Trump venye tulikuwa tunangoja tweets.
Anaitwa
Biden. Tuna trade tweets bana.
The Biden.
Kama CBT.
Biden ana news bana.
Oh, you can see like we have the average hourly earning rate.
Yes.
I remember it changed from 7 to 15 wakati iliingia.
$15 per hour.
$15 per hour, which is very okay. We have the non-farm payroll.
Yeah.
And then we have the unemployment rate, and that sounds it all. But down here you have ISM services.
PMI, yeah.
So what I do every time I want to see, like on this end, I have my forecast.
Yes.
You can see like the previous. So I'll click this graph here, open graph, so that we can see what does it really mean when you hear of NFP.
Yeah.
So like this is May, a month later after, how many months after COVID struck?
In May 2020.
Yeah.
March 2020 ndio kulikuwa na COVID.
So these are about how many months? 1 month? 2 months. Unaona kwenye NFP ilishuka after the employment rate ili change. Watu wakaambiwa work from home, people lost their jobs and all that.
Yeah.
Watu wote kwa market
so watu wote kwa market. You remember this is the time gold dropped like nothing.
Yeah.
So from there, after the US economy, they have been trying
to drop.
It did drop.
Hapana, gold ilibuy from when coronavirus ilitajwa.
Basi kila mtu anafikiria dunia inaisha watu wanunua gold wa gold value.
Alafu ikateremka siku yenye vaccine ya kwanza ilikuwa mentioned.
Yeah.
Mimi naongelea tarehe ngapi? Oh yeah. We'll see that. But now, look at this. after NFP ikaanza kurudi juu, and you can see the employment rate starting to change.
Yeah.
Watu wanakuwa employed, and now today you're looking at this. We are looking at the NFP coming short. We're looking at it ikikuwa less than projected amount, the previous amount, sindio?
Yeah.
So these are what?
Source yake inatoka na Bureau Labor Statistics, by the watu wa labor ndo wanatoa.
So ni watu wenye kazi zenye tunafanyia hizi companies kazi. You're not employed by the government.
Yeah.
So you see like the previous one, if you can confirm the previous month ilikuwa tarehe ngapi? Tarehe 2 ndio ilikuwa Friday. You can see the actual yenye ilikuja
iko juu sana.
It's higher than what they anticipated. So and the previous, so this means the currency, the US pair, will gain more power in the market.
In July, so July tutasema.
So every pair which was against the USD
dollar
it dropped.
By the tuta-confirm tuna market.
So unapata if maybe you are trading USD card.
Yes.
So USD card, you'll find that after US gaining so much power, after the US dollar gaining so much strength here, so the dollar, your card, rather than going down, ilipanda.
Yeah, the US dollar.
Which happened, which where we have our actual today. Our actual is 943, and the forecast is 870, which means the August in September.
September. So August ilifanya.
So August, we had a forecast which was lower.
Yes.
And the actual came very high.
Yeah.
So at times we look at this chart, like leo anasema the forecast should be 720, which I don't think it's better to wait. Do not anticipate on NFP juu inaweza kufrustrate. Wewe weke buy stops zako, and then the market. So una venye ina huntingi vizuri.
Sana.
Iko hunt, and then ikwambie haujui chenye unafanya, but you were correct on your positions, but you entered too early.
Yeah. Ndio maana ninasema kama hujazoea wachana na NFP, do not trade it. It's always good to look at it, yes, but if kama hujazoea wachana tu naye.
Yeah. Basi screen irudi kwako.
Have the screen.
USD JPY, another pair that we've been waiting to see how it will move. Tujakuwa na movement kubwa isipokuwa this week, I think on Wednesday, we did breach this area to the upper side. Remember, we were waiting for we were watching out for these areas to see whether we'll breach one to the upper side or the downside. Na tuliweza kubreach hapa, but we came right inside. And so I think this market will be determined once the NFP and the day is gone. We'll have a direction of this market. So for now, we're still staying out of it because again, there are scenarios that the market tries to go up, and once it is unable, then it goes even to make lower lows. Again, since we are buying the Great Britain pound, all the USD pairs, then this is an opposite pair, so we might be getting even sells. But so my suggestion on these currency pairs is that we still have patience on it and wait to see what will happen. Eurocard tulikuwa tumesema pia tutaiwatch out, right? Tumekuwa tukiwatch, by the way, for a long time. Tumekuwa tukiwatch, na last time tukiangalia tulikuwa tumeona setups zingine mob sana. If you can remember, we had our, what do we call them, the head and shoulders kadhaa. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, tulikaa hapa for long sana tukiangalia head and shoulders zenye tulikuwa tumepata. And later, we say that we will be watching out for this market, but will not be doing anything. You can see there is no much movement. That's why I was saying the markets that we said we did avoid, and there was no much movement on them. But look at it. It seems like the trend line is up, so we might be looking at a good trend line. But again, since we've not hit this area, then we might hit this area before again we form some sort of a range and it becomes a channel in the long run. But again, we'll be watching out, just as we said before, for this area. So let's watch out for this area and see what comes out of it. So still for the Euro card, we'll be leaving it out. For the oil, Ian.
Yeah.
Maze, unaona tulianzana na oil wapi? Huku chini. So hapa chance ya kukua millionaire iko juu, lakini juu kuna watu wa trading oil.
Mimi kumbe ili perform jana. I was not looking at oil jana. So, ilitoka out of my, lakini ilipa vizuri pia nayo.
Jana you missed the analysis. Jana we were looking at, once we bought, remember our first target profit was this area. Tukasema tukifika hapa tutapata some retracement, which we did, and tukakaa kwa market even before we were undecided on whether to buy or not. And when remember when we were talking about this gap, and we said that this gap will push the bears down a little bit and even challenge, and I was very categorical.
I sold. Nilisell that move yote hadi chini, ndio sasa kumbe I was just changing polarity. Niliona just the selling opportunity. I didn't see the bigger picture kwanza.
So for me, na nikawaambia vizuri, we'll be watching out at this area. I remember highlighting this area, and I said that there is a very likelihood that this will retest this area, but will not go lower and then make higher highs. And even yesterday, I did mention that, because yesterday we were around here, and we had already exhausted this sell, and we were starting to get into the buys, and that's what exactly happened. So guys, these analyses are very important. So the second time again, now we are looking at this area. This will be our take profit. So this is our target take profit. But remember that we are in a very high impact news market, and some resistance here and there. So let's watch out our movement, especially if this is the time that we want to get in. I suggest we take a short break, and then we'll be back in 5 minutes. Guys, please come back. We'll use the same link. Yeah, so let's see. Tuonane.
Yeah.
Okay.